Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Nashville Superspeedway here for the AWC Adrenaline World Series Championship, the Pro Series, here at Nashville Superspeedway. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado alongside Andreas Fares, once again back here in the booth for the AWC Pro Series. And Andreas, Nashville Superspeedway, more of a unique track here for these drivers with the big concrete, 1.3 mile track. It's going to be definitely interesting to see, especially in these Xfinity cars, how these drivers take this unique racetrack.
Well, thank you, Christian. Nashville Superspeedway, concrete track. Fun enough, I am pretty much from Bristol to Nashville, two concrete tracks, so it's quite coincidental. But this one is, of course, compared to Bristol, is pretty much bigger. It's pretty much intermediate, even though it's called Superspeedway. It's intermediate, but it has very fast racing line, very fast speed. So we're gonna see guys going from top to bottom. We're gonna see middle line possibly as well, especially with the Xfinity car. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to how these guys are gonna handle Nashville. And somebody said Mr. Carl Edwards, and I saw this video one day that when Nashville goes ahead and puts you in a very bad spot is when you actually you just actually go very aggressive and just do not manage your tires. This track is very bad on your tires, and if you're gonna be overly aggressive, your car is gonna get tight or it's gonna get loose, and yeah, that's when you don't want to be. So yeah, let's see how this race goes for these guys, and yeah, we're gonna have a banger pretty much.
A little bit of a late start here, but looking at your top in practice, Ty McIntosh, Brett Bennett, Joel Farlow, and Ferreira back there in that '09 machine. If you fast forward and you see Landon Brown back there, top 5 in practice. So look at some of those drivers to potentially be a favorite here. Obviously, we know Ty's been pretty quick here every week, just hasn't been able to get lucky enough to pull out a win here. But looking on board with Bryson Bird in this 53 as we get ready to start our qualifying for tonight at Nashville.
In Nashville, I would say I don't know if track position matters, especially with Xfinity car. Unlike the next gen or the trucks, Xfinity car, it can give you the situation where drivers matter. So if you pretty much hard drive your car, you pretty much, even though you're gonna be on the pole position, if you actually just do not manage your tires, you're gonna be in a very bad spot and going to the back. So let's see how Bryson Bird does. He's pretty much starting on the middle.
Right now on board with the 53 machine. I have our qualifying ticker up there, so you can see his inputs, his RPMs, everything that, as much as we can give you here in the car, you'll see here with our qualifying ticker. We're right on board here to finish this lap and start his lap too.
You can see over there coming out of 4, he pretty much is trying to not make his car loose. So he's doing a little bit of brakes, getting into the throttle in middle of turn 1 and 2, and now once he gets into exit of 2, pretty much going full throttle and try not to pretty much overslide your car.
The Bird with a 30.9. That first lap puts him P6 across the line. We'll see what he does now, if he can improve. Looks like he might improve a little bit here, 30.7. So up to P3 for that number 53 machine. Good lap for him as we continue to look at some other drivers making their way onto the track. Gabe Cazola had a good race last week.
Greg Cliff's number 18, that gives a lot of, well, the 18 very similar to the Kyle Busch, Joe Gibbs race in 18, but Greg Cliff's giving those flashy times from Casey Kane and Jason Leffler. Great scheme right there.
Cazola goes P16 with a 31.04. Starting his second lap, almost gets up into the outside wall there out of 2. Trying to push it just a little bit too hard.
Yeah, and you can see over there, like, if you're trying to push too hard, you either gonna get very loose or you're gonna go into the wall, and pretty much Nashville is not gonna be very, very kind with you in that terms.
Gabe does not. It improves a little bit up to P12, 30.9, but I don't think a lap that he wanted there. Everybody has completed their qualifying, but we'll continue to look at some drivers who are still out on track.
It,
We'll see your scoring at the top of your screen here. Looks like Linian back here in 09, just running some laps out. And, in my opinion, coming out here running these practice laps is kind of invaluable sim time. A lot of people will just come down, park the car. For me, I'm always someone who's going to sit out here, get some more laps under my belt, try to figure out how to hone this car in here throughout the race here. But you're going to see the 09 also bring his car down. So we'll go back to the 48 of Aaron Evans.
Ito Ferrara pretty much making the fastest lap, pretty much taking the pole right there.
Athenian with a 30.5. Good lap for that 09 machine. Look at your points leader here, Joel Farlow in the 24. Right now currently P5. Didn't get to see his laps, but Joel, one of those guys who is consistently always pretty decent at qualifying, but is always known for his long run pace here. And coming right here, a decent quality lap here for a 30.9. A 30.6, my apologies. And we'll start there in that P5 position.
Well, not bad for him. Yeah, we're gonna see how these guys handle this track. But like you said, I think it's much better to be ahead and practice how your car is gonna handle for the rest of the race. If your car is gonna be a long run, or gonna be having a long run or a short run speed.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be how you set up the car and how you want to set up the race here. Do you want to be aggressive at the start? Do you want to go take the track position away and try to hold on, or do you set the car up for the long run where you want to save your stuff a little bit and then try to drive through the field as people use their stuff up? It's something that you can still do here in the Xfinity car. And it's pretty unique, but we'll go ahead and get your starting lineup here presented by HVTV. We see our pole sitter, Athenian Ferreira, back there with your pole with that 30.6. Wyatt Thompson on his outside in that number 95 machine. Michael Walls, P3. Noah Brown in that 65, P4. Joel Farlow and Gilberto Gamera back there in P5 and P6. P7, Landon Brown in that 39 machine with Bryson Bird going to round out that top 8. And Brett Bennett and Enrique Hulkan going to round out your top 10.
Right, Runabomb and Fidel Fabian is gonna be on your 11 and 12 position. Then you're gonna have Gabe Gasola and Ty McIntosh coming from 14. He's pretty much one of our fastest guys, and he's gonna be in the mid pack. He's gonna have a lot of job to do if he wants to be at least on the top 5, or if he wants to win the race. We're gonna have David Huckleberry and Aaron Evans on P15, P17, and we're gonna be having Brendan Reed, Adam Tall coming from the 18 and 19th. James Johnson and Jake Scarborough is gonna be running up your field from P20 and P21.
Adam Powder in that 19th place as well. Just like that. 75 laps here from Nashville Superspeedway as we get ready to take a look at your weather for tonight's race. 78 degrees with a little bit of wind, but clear skies out here from Tennessee here, outside of actually Nashville. Speaking of that, we'll take a look at some of your track facts presented by Delta Designs. Obviously cool to have Andreas up here in the booth for once, as he's our sponsor for our track facts for every week. But you see here in Lebanon, Texas, just right outside of Nashville, 1.3 mile track with 14 degrees in the turns and 9 degrees in the banking. So thank you once again to Delta Eagle and all the people over there with them for being a huge supporter for HVTV and everything else here. But you see right there, the lights on the pace car are off. We'll be getting ready to go green here as we see the 09 and the 95 gonna lead us back here to green, and we're green here from Nashville Superspeedway. back around to complete lap 1 to go into lap 2. 09 gonna lead that first lap with Michael Walsh back there in that P2 position. Wyatt Thompson back there. We saw him yesterday there in the Prestige Cup Series have a good run there, but he's back there in that 95 machine.
Mika was right here already pretty much setting up his second position, trying to go ahead and start figuring out, okay, we got the first lap done, now how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go ahead and save our tires and go for the long runs, or pretty much try to attack Ethan Ferrara right here and trying to take over here the first position. But this is a very tricky situation for Mika right here, because of course you want to run up the leader, but you're gonna have the third position right there, the 95, pretty much pulling on his helmet. So here he goes. Mika Walsh is trying to get closer on our leader.
They're all single file throughout the field here right now. Everybody, I feel like, just trying to figure out what they want to do here. Single file throughout the field. And so, you know, with this Xfinity car, I think this is something you'll see, and we've seen a lot here with the AWC Pro Series, is that you'll see these guys, you'll see some guys be aggressive a little bit to get up through the field, make a couple spots here. We've seen some guys up, you know, around 3 or 4 spots. Some of those guys who are going to be aggressive, like the 13 back here of Ryan in this 13 machine. It's like Gabe Kazula, who we know is super aggressive here in these Xfinity cars. He's up 3 spots, as well as Ty McIntosh. We know he's going to be quick. Not the lap time you want. Remember, fastest in practice, and just a poor qualifying effort out of this 45.
Yeah, and McIntosh, like I said, he's gonna be running on the field right here. He's already making some moves right here, P11. So yeah, from a 14th position, he's actually going forward. Let's see if he's able to save those tires, because running up the field is not an easy job for McIntosh, you know.
Yeah, Ty's always been someone who's been aggressive to get up to that track position, but does not save these tires very well. So we see a battle here. Bryson Bird underneath the 13, and it looks like Kazula was going to try to follow him through. But still side by side back here for this P9 position. Now P8 position as Bird tries to take away from the 13. A little bit of contact going into turn 3.
Ooh. Yeah, and pretty much trying to not go very over aggressive on the pass right here, because once you're in the inside, you're not trying to pass the leader. Like we see over here, he already tried to go for the top. Now he's going, well, he went from the inside, I'm sorry, and then going for the top, trying to get that outside lane run off. But, well, right here it didn't happen, so now he's getting pushed by the 18.
You see the 13 hit the wall there, and I'll say this: I'm surprised, and I'm pleasantly surprised that Ryan could actually hold on to this spot there, running the top, trying to defend here. Obviously, see everybody here throughout the field kind of hugging that yellow line, trying to keep the car there. And you know, that top lane is not really the preferred line here at Nashville. Not a lot of grip, besides maybe that middle lane. You saw him go up, you know, I wouldn't say very tip top next to the wall, but was able to defend against that 18 of Kazula back there. We have a battle for the lead. Michael Walsh got your leader. Still have Wyatt Thompson back there in the 95, ready, hot in pursuit, ready to take advantage if these guys make a mistake here. As Michael Walsh, you see, takes the lead. It's the 09 loose out of 2.
Yeah, and pretty much that situation right there for Ferrara was the worst for him, because Mika pretty much almost did a little block coming out of the wall, coming out of Chu, and pretty much made upset the number 09 ready to exit. So very good save for Ferrara, but let's hope that this is not gonna be a bad situation for Ferrara and pretty much keeps going. Meanwhile, the number 95 is the best situation for him right now, is that both Mika and Ferrara is pretty much on the battle, because they're gonna be using their tires.
Exactly. I mean, and Micah, I feel like, has always been the kind of guy to be aggressive, but he's always good at managing the tires. He's always good at managing a good pace. I think that 9 really just wanted to get out, get that clean air, and, you know, continue to, you know, run a pace that he wants. He's always been someone who kind of sits where he wants to, and if he feels like someone's running too fast. He's fine sitting back there behind someone, but right now, wanted to get that lead early away from that 09, and starting to hold, I would say, the top 5 away from everybody else.
And I don't know if it's actually happening or not, but I think Ferrara, even though he's lost the lead spot, he's not going away from him. So Ferrara is fast. So that car is gonna go ahead and like, all right, I lost the lead, but we'll see how my car handles in the air. And as far as I see, he is handling very well. So let's see if Mika is able to go ahead and like save his tires, save his position. Yes, you have your clean air, but Ferrara, if he's able to save his tires, well, it's gonna be a big problem. Meanwhile, we have a fight.
Noah Brown looking underneath the 24. Joel Farlow trying to defend there. You know, Joel's been the kind of guy to not really fight a lot here at the early stage of the run here. He's going to probably give this spot to the 65, as he does. Joel's always been, you know, a very patient driver here in the AWC Pro Series. And if, you know, he feels like this guy, someone in front of him is pushing his stuff a little bit too much, we'll just let him go. And Joel will always be there at the end to make a run at it. Now, Micah, ever since Micah shown up, though, he's really given this 24 run for his money for the long run pace, because not only has he been fast, he's always had the long run speed that this 24 has as well. And with Micah, he can be fast and do the same thing versus Joel back here in the P5 spot now, who usually almost has to hyper save to keep the same pace that 9 machine does.
Yeah, and pretty much right now after lap 15, we're gonna start seeing some guys to say, all right, these guys have short run speed, but maybe at pretty much lap 30, we're gonna see a change of course. We're gonna see guys who are good saving their tires. They're gonna be starting to go ahead and say, all right, I'm much faster. I need to start moving. So, and the worst part for those guys who are having good short speed is, are they gonna go ahead and like fight for that position, or they're gonna just straight up let go and say, all right, maybe I need a new strategy for the rest of the race.
Exactly, and you know, it's interesting to see that, you know, this top 5, the tail end of this pack of Joel Farlow, and even then he's a good second and a half behind your leader. But then there's a good second and a half back to P6 here. Brett Bennett leading the 6 on back here. You see a battle back there actually. It's McIntosh trying to look underneath Kazola. Gonna get back underneath here and get clear, but you know, these guys have really dropped off comparatively to that top 5. I don't know, maybe it's a lot more racy back here, it looks like, and I don't know, maybe that's just slowing these guys down a little bit versus that top 5 who is, you know, kind of content riding in line, running their laps out, versus everybody down here. You see now the 45 underneath the 18 trying to take this 9th place spot away, trying to work, and this 45 trying to work his way back into the top 10.
Well, meanwhile, these guys on the back are trying to fight, of course, going forward to the for off the field, going forward. We can go ahead and say, yes, the guys on top in the top 5, they're running away. I mean, for Farlow, the best position right here is that the 47 is very far away, as well as this pack that we're watching. Meanwhile, McIntosh is looking at the side of the 39 right there, but not quite there. Wasn't able to put his car. But yeah, we can see on the 47 right there ahead of Tame McIntosh, we have a huge gap. So, but I hope that Farlow doesn't go ahead like gets his like we say all right, I'm very good over here. Meanwhile, McIntosh is right here. Go ahead and pull below the number 39, and maybe he's gonna do his move.
You look, but we'll look at your side by side here, and you can actually see Farlow back here, kind of just riding content here, and see the 24 and the 45. You see the 45 just back there, duking it out side by side, where you versus this top 10 now. Farlow just sitting back there by himself. Just trying to run it out here. You now see McIntosh get clear here up into the P8 position, but No, it's a very different race back here outside of the top 5, outside of the top 6 versus those guys who are just kind of riding around right now.
Yes, and then you can see once we have a pan out on the Macintosh, he's starting to pull in and I started to gain some time on the guys ahead of him. He's right now P8. Of course, as you can see, he's, yeah, very much perfect. You can see over here, ahead of him, the number 53, and ahead of that car, you're gonna see the 47. You're gonna see, all right, if I'm able to get the 53, I can get the 47. But then you have the 24 right ahead of him, and it's very far away. Well, that's if Fardo, like I said before, if Fardo doesn't go ahead and like oversave his tires and start like, all right, I'm gonna be slow because I'm gonna try to pass this guy. There's always gonna be that driver. There's gonna be a driver that is gonna be more aggressive, quote unquote, but is able to save their tires, and they're gonna be able to pretty much catch you from very much mid-pack and pass you, and you're gonna be surprised by that moment.
Yeah, you see the 09 now putting some pressure on your race leader, Micah. Got a rear view full of this 09 machine, and you can see that Red is pushing a little bit harder than I think Micah is. You saw him kind of driving in the corner, had to back out. See Micah kind of content, just kind of running his line and being like, hey, if you want to pass me, you're going to have to go somewhere else to do it. See Ferrata going to look top. I assume he's going to try to cross him over. Cannot get the rotation. You actually see him swing out that rear end just a little bit behind him. He's trying to do everything to try to put pressure on this 9 machine. Once again, like I said with this 9 machine earlier, not the 09, but the 9 of your leader, Micah, he's always just content, kind of putting his car where he needs to keep the lead without pushing his stuff. He's going to force that guy behind them to go and use their stuff up to try to get around him, and usually by the time that happens, he's long gone because he has the better tires.
Yeah, but we can see over here, Ferrata is a poor sitter, so we know that they. Oh no! Meanwhile, we have the move. He's going inside of Mika. Let's see if he's not able. Is pretty much able to make the pass, or very much Mika is gonna be able to hold his lead.
Give it to the 9 at the line, but the 09 definitely has the advantage here. He has the spot on the track where it's preferred to run, but Micah is not just gonna pull over and try to race him. Looks like the 09 will clear. No, he won't, as the 9 gets a run off the top.
Yeah, he got a much better run on the top, Mika. But the 09 almost lost the bottom right there, but it's going to be all clear. But, yeah, Micah, this is a very good battle, Christian. These guys are going to back and forth all race, I believe.
And see now Micah underneath the 09. The 09 had not the best exit, trying to run the bottom, and now Micah crosses him over with a lap car in front. Going to be 3 wide, going to 3 forward. In contact with the 16. 16, I feel like should have got out of the way a little bit more, but obviously that's his own due diligence. Now side by side out of 3 and 4. Going to be a drag race. 9 in the wall. Contact with the 9 machine. Give it to Walls once again, but still. And now that takes a lot of momentum out of the 9. Just trying to race a little bit too hard. Trying to keep the lead, and some knocked the ball down there out of 2.
And I don't know if Mika tried to use the 16 as a pick, trying to pull Ferrata behind, and Ferrata was like, no, I'm not going to be a pick. I'm going to put myself in the middle between the 16 and the Mika rolls right there. And pretty much almost made contact with the 16, and then pretty much on 4. Yeah, I believe he got a little bit tight coming out of 4. Pushing his car and put that car into the wall. Hopefully that didn't make any bad to his car. It doesn't seem like it.
And looks like not too much damage to that 09 machine. We'll take a look at it as they go across the start finish line with our zoomed in with this different camera here. But we'll take a look here as they go across the stripe. I don't really see any damage to that 09. No scuffs or anything really. So got lucky with that. Doesn't look like any wheel damage. Looks like he's still running at a decent pace, especially compared to your race leader.
Yeah, and pretty much with these composite bodies, you can go ahead and get 1 or 2 hits on the wall and be fine with it. Of course, the moment that you get a wheel damage, it's gonna be not a race over, but it's gonna be changing your way of drive or how the car drives. But yeah, it seems like Ferrari is not gonna have any problems with that. Hit the wall, and I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and get to that lead again.
And then we're still a little bit of ways out, I believe, from pit stops here. So I believe you can probably go 40, 45, even probably, if not more laps here in these Xfinity machines. So this 09 is not going to give the pressure up here on this 9 machine. I think they have pretty even cars. I also do think that Micah isn't really pushing as hard as he probably could. Obviously, you don't see him driving into the corner like the 09 is and trying to push it on exit. I think right now he's content. He's kind of sitting there trying to save his stuff just a little bit more. But the 09 is still not going to give it up. Is you going to see him with the bumper to the 9 machine? Going to back off? Maybe no. Side by side out of 2 after the bumper gets laid to Micah Walls now. And now the 09 will have the advantage into the corner going into 3 and 4.
These guys are going up and down, pretty much fighting. It's a dogfight on this
bumper
lead.
to the 09.
Very much thing, yeah. Micah was coming in with like, yeah, you got me into turn 1. I'm gonna get you back in turn 3. Ferrari pretty much getting to the wall once again, and they're still side by side into 1.
And Micah Walls with the bottom, the 09 on the top. 9 should get a good run off the corner here. He's going to clear the 09, but 09 with a run off the top. Will he do something of it? No, looks like he's going to sit back in line. I think they see that 75 back there. Wyatt Thompson has slowly made his way into this battle. You see him right behind that lap car. It's the 70 machine right here. Probably is going to get out of the way of Portland Herman. Going to try to be cordial here, but with them battling, that's allowed Thompson here in this 95 machine to slowly reel these 2 back in.
And here comes pretty much the third guy. Once your leaders start fighting and there's a 2-car battles, there's always gonna be the second car, the third car pretty much, we're gonna say it over here. It's gonna become a 3-way battle for the lead, as the number 70 went to the pit road. Pretty much didn't want to do anything with this battle. And yeah, Wyatt Thompson right here pretty much pulling the laps, seeing the 2 leaders battle each out, lap and lap, destroying their tires. And Thompson is right here saying, give me that, give me that, come on guys, keep doing it. As well, Ferrari is taking the second position, but I don't think it's gonna be over. I think he still has some tires on his car, and there's still more than maybe 10 laps or 15 according to our calculations right here for the first pit cycle. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see how this goes about. And, you know, looking at some of these other battles back here, Joel Farlow, I talked about having his long run pace throughout the race, has not really been able to capitalize on that. He's getting pressure from the 47. Brett Bennett in the 47 machine looks like a little bit of contact, but friendly contact. Just looks like the 24 trying to defend the best he can. And look at that. McIntosh making his way into here, trying to put himself into the top 5.
Like I said, Christian, what did I tell you? Hopefully Joe Farlow doesn't go ahead and oversave his tires. I don't know if he was oversaving them, or I don't know if he was trying to push it, trying to keep that top 5, but that second he had like 10 laps ago is gone, and now he pretty much didn't lose 1 but 2 positions.
No, 9 with the mistake.
No, 9? What happened?
We'll have to take a look here on this replay. We'll see if we can get this up as quick as we can here. See the 09 behind the 9 machine going into 3 and 4. I think the 9 was trying to pit. I think the 9 was trying to pit and either didn't call it out or Beretta just did not hear him and gets in the back of the 9. That's going to lose them a bunch of time. That gives Wyatt Thompson a lead actually coming back to this live racing. Wyatt Thompson, your race leader, and yeah, Michael Walls down pit road here as we're going to take a look at this 9 machine now. Micah comes down pit road, followed by the 09 of Ferreira.
And Wyatt Thompson came up with the biggest present of the race. Christmas came early for Thompson right here. Like the both leaders pretty much went ahead and pretty much destroyed by both. I didn't destroy the both races, but pretty much their lead. So hopefully that doesn't go ahead and like it gave damage to both Mika and Ferrara. So hopefully that is not very big damage for their both cars. But because, well, those cars are very fast.
Yeah, it'd be a shame to see those two lose contention, but here the permanent battle for the lead here. These two have not come down pit road. The 47 versus the 45 now. Brad Bennett versus Ty McIntosh.
McIntosh is pretty much going on the mission. Went from 14. He's right now pretty much on the cycle. He's right now third. We'll see if he's gonna go early or pretty much later on the pit cycle, because we have already the 95 went into the pit as well as Ferrara and Mika Walls. So we'll see. We'll see if he has a long run terms of pit cycle. Yeah, he's still on the track as well as Bennett. Brown is still on the lead. So possibly they're gonna have maybe a strategy of one pit cycle.
It'll be interesting to see how far these guys want to go. They, we are almost in range of just splitting this race in half, obviously, and I think we're actually over it. So it's just going to depend on when they decide they want to pit and when they decide they want to come.
Here comes Brown.
And it's going to be
Sorry,
interesting.
the 65 was pitting.
It's the 47.
Oh no!
It's the bumper through him from the 45. So you could save out of the 47, but not going to be happy with that 45 machine.
Oh yeah, and pretty much, I don't know if that was netcode or actual contact, but yeah, I think McIntosh was a little bit aggressive coming into one, and yeah, Bennett right here after that little spin. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and get those new tires and go into the pits.
So the 45.
Yeah, McIntosh.
45 to the back of the 47, and Joe Farlow has capitalized on this. He has caught the back end of the 45 to race for this provisional lead, at least right now. And looking back at the race for the lead back here, looks like Ferreira 3 laps down. Micah Walls obviously a lap down, but still on track. Ferreira, I don't know, maybe gave himself a penalty, but he's still off the racing surface here.
We don't know if there was a penalty, but hopefully that is not the case. Oh, we just saw that Ferreira pretty much has disconnected from the server, so unknown.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as you see now the 45 make his way down pit road. Now hand your lead over to Gilberto coming down pit road. Landon Brown down pit road. I'll give over the race lead. And now here comes the 52. So I think this is probably the extent that they wanted to go here. I think this was all a strategy to get it to 46. See if Gabe comes down pit road here. Gabe and Wyatt Thompson in the middle of a battle.
So this is gonna be. Sorry, Chris. This is gonna be the battle for the lead, as we see Wyatt Thompson and Gaslow.
Well, Cazzola has not pit yet, so Wyatt Thompson has, and has caught the back end. So I think this is actually Wyatt Thompson just trying to get around this 18. The 18 still has to pit, so he's trying to run it a little bit longer. Wyatt Thompson already has pit. He's got 2. I mean, this is his second lap out on this stint. And then, so that 18 is going to have to pit sooner or later, but we know he's just not going to pull over. He hasn't done that for any race driver this whole season. He races everybody hard, races everybody pretty clean here, unless, he feels he's done wrong. And you see, the 95 has had a little bit of an issue, has had a little bit of a trouble getting around the 18, but now He's on the inside. He's got the fresher stuff. I don't see an issue getting around this 18 machine here. The 18 still at his quarter. Not going to make it easy. But he's clear if he wants it, and he's going to take it here, going down in the bottom. But yeah, I mean, Gabe is not letting this up. I mean, obviously the race for the lead, but obviously Gabe will still have to come down pit side here sooner or later. I would say he could probably go another, I would say 5 or 7 laps here, if he wants. But Gabe not giving this up easy.
Yes, and meanwhile, I want to see the guys that were later in the pit cycle, because as we see Wyatt Thompson, he was the first guy, but we have other cars coming in later. We had Brown, we had Bennett, we had McIntosh. So I'm gonna check where they are. McIntosh is gonna be 8. Meanwhile, Bennett is gonna be 9, of course, because of that spin from McIntosh. Meanwhile, Brown is gonna be 4th. So those are the guys I'm gonna be watching forward to, because Thompson came in right in the moment that Ferrara and Mika Waltz were in that contact. He pitted a lap after, so I will see if Thompson is able to hold his tires, because like we saw earlier, the tires are a big talk.
Yeah, so Thompson, Kazola, Fabian, and Bird still have not come down pit side. I'm a little confused, right? Obviously, we're going 25 to go now here from, you know, Nashville, and you're gonna have to pit again. I don't really think 25 laps is gonna be enough to. These guys are definitely gonna go a lap down. I mean, Noah Brown is the first person who is out on freshies here in this 8 machine, on the 65 machine. I mean, and he's only 3.5 seconds behind Thompson. All these guys are gonna have to come down pit road. They're gonna easily go a lap down. I don't think 25 laps is enough to unlap yourself and come and be competitive in the race for this win.
Unless you're very good at saving fuel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how far they can go on fuel here. I thought maybe it was going to be like 50, 55, but these guys have no really doubt.
So we have 75 laps, so maybe, yes. So if we have 75 laps and some guys came in on lap 45, we can say that they can go ahead and save some fuel on 45 laps. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, to be honest. Meanwhile, Gazola hasn't entered. What? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm being told by our race control right now that our timing, like our overlays are telling us something completely different. So Kazola has come down pit road according to race control, and so has Thompson. Because I thought I saw Thompson come down pit road on the track. And yeah, Kazola pitted on lap 36. Wyatt Thompson also came down pit road. So all these guys have come down pit road. I was about to say, I was really surprised to see that some guys had not come down pit side. And yeah, it's even showing us now that Michael Walls hasn't even come down pit road, and we saw him. So ATVO having an issue on our end, I guess. Happens to the best of us. But yeah, so everybody here has come down pit road. This is the race to the end of the race here, I believe. Everybody else can make it to the end. So right now it's Thompson versus everybody else, and right now, like, I mean, Thompson has a 2-second gap back here to this 18 machine. I think once again, Kazola pitting early. He's done this before. Pits early, tries to hold on, but obviously Wyatt Thompson with the fresher tires are going to continue to pull away. And we apologize to that for everybody watching at home, but yeah, we actually did have to have a reset here of the ticker. We did have a problem with our intervals here that you see up on the top of your ticker, and our ticker guy gave us a new instance to try to fix that, and obviously you see that at the top of the screen that it does work accordingly, and I think that did reset our some of our information about when people pit, you know, lap times and everything else here. But I'm glad that our race control was here to save the day. And yeah, everybody down here that's on track has at least come down pit road. So while we have time, let's go ahead and do a race rundown. You see Wyatt Thompson back here in the 95. He gave Kazola back there P2 in a battle for P3. Noah Brown. Actually, that's not a battle. That's the 16th machine who was 3 laps down. But Ty's going to try to get around him. Put the bumper to the 16. He knows he's not going to play around with them. He's going to put the bumper there. Coming out the top 5, Joel Farlow trying to get around his teammate there in the 16 machine. And Bryce Bird back there in P6.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just came back. I had a connection issue.
Well, happy to have Grace back here in the booth, but Noah Brown going after the 18 machine. Remember, 18 on older tires compared to the rest of the field here. So starting to back up to some of these guys and giving a hard time to the 65 once again. Like I said it once, I'll say it again. This kid is not going to just pull over, and it's allowed now McIntosh to come up here and make this a race.
And McIntosh is pretty much doing what I was expecting that he was gonna do. Gazzola is very much on a very, very defensive position right here. Like he's gonna get turned. Oh no!
Great save out of the 45, but the 18 goes around. Is he going to save it? No. Caution will wave here on lap 60. And that just changes everything. And I can imagine. Oh, there's the 34 trying to slide in. The 48 coming in.
No.
We'll take a look back. And
I don't know
what
what happened with those guys.
We'll take back a look and see what happened here. It looks like maybe just the 65 being a little impatient. He saw he was getting held up, and he knew that, you know, there's a line that's kind of crossed here where the 18 was clearly holding up some of these guys, and he got bumped. You see that he gets some contact there, and then we'll see. We'll go back and look at this 34 as we speak right now. See what happens. We see him kind of self-spin on his own. Self-spin's trying to stop. I don't know if maybe some guys didn't know that there was a car stop down here in 3 and 4. But you see the 34 come in, and then the 48 just reacts to that as well. And nowhere to go for some of these guys here. You know, you figured the cautions out, you back it down there, but see the 48 and the 34 also involved in that caution after the fact there. Just like that, that's going to bring all you drivers down pit road here. And I
hate if... Go ahead.
I say that's a new breath of life for everybody that wasn't the 95. I mean, Noah Brown, Joel Farlow, they were 3-4 seconds behind this 95. So everybody else wanted to see this, but your race leader, Wyatt Thompson.
I mean, I think Wyatt Thompson, even though he didn't want to see it, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be me. While Brown, I think he put some 2 tires, but I think Wyatt Thompson was the one that was. It's in a very weird spot because Wyatt Thompson, even though he didn't want to see that caution flag, is pretty much right now in the same position as the other guys because McIntosh was pretty much faster than everybody else. Like, if it wasn't for Gazzola right there, Gazzola pretty much was 100% defending that situation. He was 100% defending, and Brown got into him, and that was very much a very incident of a car with older tires tried to defend, and the guys who were faster, of course, they didn't get some patience. The next target was going to be Thompson. Thompson was pretty much in a very different situation as all of this, like McIntosh and Brown. So pretty much this caution pretty much put him in the same situation as Brown and McIntosh. And Brown put 2 tires, so pretty much he has only 2 fresh tires. Thompson has 4. So we'll see if they can go ahead and Thompson can go ahead and have a very quick run on the 39, and if he's able to go ahead and like proceed to save those tires. So it's a very mixed situation on like you didn't want to have that caution, but in the same way you are pretty much in the same level as the guys that were having much better tires on that cycle.
A little bit of a different strategy. Landon Brown stays out on 17 lap tires, and Noah Brown, a little bit of a shorter pit stop. Maybe feel lonely, maybe 2 tires. He's actually going to get ahead of you, Wyatt Thompson, who was your leader here before the caution comes out. So a little bit of a strategy play out here. But, you know, we're coming with almost 12 to go here. So, I mean, it's time to make those work. So coming to green with 12 to go, you're going to see the pace car hook a hard left turn back on the pit road. And the 39 and the 65 going to lead us to green. Toyota Ford front row, and you'll see a Chevy Ford lockout there in that fast forward. But we're green here with Landon A. Brown going to lead you back to green.
Brown got a very good restart jump, and yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, here comes the newer tires.
Noah Brown going to scoot around on the outside and start to pull away, and now we're 3 wide for that P2 position. You'll see Thompson get through, you'll see Farlow get through, and that 39 getting swallowed up by the rest of the pack. Luckily, nothing happening. There's a little bit of contact at the 24. The 24 is going to go around. 51, a Fabian involved as well. You see the 23 maybe tag the 24 a little bit there. And yeah, I mean, I wish I could say I'm surprised, but we're going to green with 12 to go. It's hard to pass here at Nashville. This stuff will happen. But we'll take a look and see what happens to this 24 of Joel Farlow, and we'll have a look. So going back into this restart here, I think this all stems from this 3 wide that forced everybody around, and you'll see the 95 right here getting to the back of the 24. Just barely get him. I think just Wyatt just overdriving the corner a little bit, and nowhere for nothing this 24 can do. And nowhere for anyone to go here. You see Bryson Bird getting the back of the 95 a little bit, give himself some damage. I think Ty maybe will knock the wall down here. Yeah, give himself a little bit of damage. So really everybody but your leader of Noah Brown involved in this wreck.
Yes, and this is very much when after the half of the race, oh wow, what a save by the number 16, I believe that was. But yeah, after the race, pretty much you're gonna start feeling like, all right, it's go time. It's time to go ahead and get to the lead. And the situations happens. You're gonna miss the turn, the corner exit, and provoke these little wrecks that pretty much not only ends your day but also everybody else. So I think Thompson is gonna get the EOL on this situation. So we're gonna have another restart.
Yeah, I mean, Wyatt just looks like they drove it in a little bit too deep, gets into the back end of the 24. I mean, yeah, definitely not intentional, but definitely have to follow the 95 here, and hopefully we can go green the rest of these. Well, I think we'll be going to green with 8 to go here. You know, I'd love to see what you see. Wyatt Thompson actually come down pit road. He's gonna come. No, Wyatt Thompson gets the whoa. My apologies. We just talked about that. That's actually gonna give Ty McIntosh the front row alongside the 65, and look at that 45. I thought he was gonna have a lot more right front damage. Looks pretty clean and green here for that number 45 machine.
He will be able. He's gonna be able to do the mid pack all the way to the lead, maybe to win the race. Oh, man, that would be amazing.
I mean, remember, Ty started all the way back in 14th place. Was fastest in practice, should have had a lot of speed. Just had a terrible lap, probably for his sake, and has been up front all race. Has not been able to come to victory lane here in the AWC Pro Series, but looks like he's got the car to potentially beat here. Going to 8 to go. He's driven through the field here. He's got fresh Goodyear tires. And looks like he might be the guy to beat here. You have to look back at Enrique Cucalan back here in the 22. He slowly worked his way back up here as well. Up 6 spots, as well as the 13 of Ryan in that zone machine. So a lot of these guys taking advantage of the carnage that's happened throughout the field. Obviously, we thought Michael Walls was the guy to beat. He's always been the guy to beat when he comes here to the AWC Pro Series, but it's not between him anymore. It's between the 65 and the 45 machine, the Toyota front row. as we get ready to go 8 to green here from Nashville.
Good jump by Brown. A very good restart for Mikey Touch. Is gonna get some heat from the 53, and he's gonna take the position. 53. He's gonna be on second.
Yeah, Bryson Bird has a really good restart, puts himself up in the P2 position, but a little loose out of the 53 machine, and there comes the 45. And they try to put the pressure on him. Now, what can Bryson Bird do? Can Bryson Bird get to the back end of the 65 machine and make it a race between him and Noah Brown for this race win? Coming to 7 to go.
It's a three-way battle. McIntosh, Bird, Brown. Who's gonna be the winner right here? Brown with 2 tires, remember. So it's gonna be very different on how this car handled.
And Noah not really used to the front here, but starting to look like he might have this out and a way to go if he can just keep this 65 out in front. Bryson Bird back there trying to pursue down, and Ty McIntosh back there in the P3 spot, but Gilberto back here in P4 slowly running in this top 3 battle here.
And McIntosh, hopefully he's not having some situation with his little tap on the wall. Hopefully that didn't give any damage, that is changing the way of that car handles. But Gilberto, I was talking about him. What a save! He pretty much missed by pretty much an inch the 24 of Joe Farlow. And he's right now on P4 running up on McIntosh, trying to take that 3rd position.
Coming back 5 now, coming to 4 to go. It might be Noah Brown's race to lose. Bryson Bird has not been able to get back to the 65 and is running about a 10th slower lap. McIntosh running significantly off the pace, but Gilberto matching lap times with him, as this is the closest battle up here inside the top 5, but we do have some battling back here. Outside the top 5, Aaron Evans trying to go after that 13 machine. You see Wyatt Thompson, who got that EOL for causing that caution, trying to move his way back up through the field.
Wyatt Thompson pretty much, I don't know if he's actually destroyed his race with that little contact with Farlow, but hopefully that didn't give him any type of situation where, okay, there goes my race now. We'll try to keep going. Hopefully he doesn't give up. Let's see if he's able to pretty much do what McIntosh did on the start of the race and go from back to 4.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see as we come 3 to go now from Nashville. Noah Brown trying to hold off. As you see, I think there's a little bit of a skew to that 48 machine. That's going to be interesting to look at there. But, you know, Wyatt Thompson, I would say, yeah, this is race ending. I mean, he was probably going to have this race won if he didn't do that. And now he's going to be back here. He might get P8 over this 48 machine. But, I mean, he's not even going to get a top 5 for that mistake he made, putting the bumper to the 24. But looking back here at the race for the lead, now looking at that race for 3rd, Ty McIntosh has a rear end full of the 23. The 23 has found some pace here at the end here. Is Gilberto trying to look inside here. You heard the 45 have to lift here. And now side by side going to 2 to go. Final lap, my apologies, for this P3 position. Gilberto's going to take it.
Gilberto with pretty much the save, pretty much the way of missed a car right in front of him, and he's going to get that 3rd position. Meanwhile, Noah Brown, pretty much perfect situation for him. He was the leader on that wreck, and pretty much coming out of the top 4, he's going to win it.
Yeah, Noah Brown didn't look like the fastest guy to beat, but he's going to come here and win at Nashville. What a win for that 65 machine as Bryson Bird comes back there in the P3 spot, and Gilberto, we saw him still that podium spot away from Ty McIntosh there in the closing lap. He's going to get round out the podium here. But what a win for Noah Brown, his first of the season here in the AWC Pro Series. And now I think well-deserved. He took advantage of the opportunities that were given to him. Obviously, we thought that Micah Walls, the 09 of Ferreira, had a good chance here, but they got taken out in some type of misunderstanding there coming down pit road, and that really ruined their races. And then we thought maybe it was the 24, maybe we thought it was the 45, right? maybe we thought it was a 95 of Wyatt Thompson, and Wyatt Thompson gave himself a penalty, putting the, wrecking the 24. And Noah Brown came through, took the lead here with the pit strategy call, and he's going to come in here and burn it down here on the front stretch here at Nashville Superspeedway.
The best situation happened to Noah Brown, and he did it. He put the dice. He put 2. Meanwhile, everybody else put 4. And he rolled the dice, and he got it. Even though we're not at Vegas, well, sometimes you gotta gamble, and that gamble is gonna give you the win. So, congratulations to Noah Brown. Very much. He was able to win to all those cars that were faster, to pretty much Ty McKinnock, who was pretty much running up the field, as well as Wyatt Thompson, who was pretty much the leader before that caution. And, well, once again, what a great race.
Oh,
what a great race.
We saw him burn it down here. Let's go ahead and talk to that number 65. Let's go ahead and talk to Noah. Hey, Noah, it's Christian and Andreas up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, definitely an interesting race for you. It seemed like maybe that 09 and the 9 were the cars to beat. And unfortunately, it looked like they wrecked themselves coming down pit road. And you had some incidents there on the restarts there towards the end of the race. You took advantage, took a little bit of a different strategy down pit road, gave yourself the lead, and never looked back. Walk us through your race and walk us through, how you got up there to win this race.
Yeah, I mean, race before the pit stop was pretty standard. Just trying to save as much tire as I could. Didn't end up working out toward the end of the stint. I actually burned more than I thought I had, so it allowed some of the cars behind to catch up. But nonetheless, saved a little bit of tire. Was able to run the stint out a little longer, and from that effect, just was running high, especially after the incident coming onto pit road with the 9 and the 09. But I was running up in second. And then, yeah, pretty much just catching up to the leader, and then the caution comes out. So, yeah, after that, just the 2-tire call, in retrospect, is a really dumb decision. I think the 95 had a really solid car, but after that restart incident, yeah, there was really just no going back from there. The car felt great. Yeah, pretty much that's about it. Just try to run my race, not getting anyone's issues.
I mean, that's what you kind of had to do here is, keep the car clean. It seemed like those things were a handful to drive all night. And you kind of did the best of the best there at, keeping the car out in front. Obviously, like I said, we thought the 09 and the 9 were kind of guys to beat, but they tore their stuff up. You have to finish the race to, win the race, right, Noah? So, once again, congratulations on this win here. And is there anybody you'd like to thank here for this win here at Nashville Superspeedway?
I want to thank the moderators. I want to thank Jake Scarborough and Daniel Gore for hosting the races. It's always, it's always hard for them just to, they have to come night in and night out. But usually the races are pretty good, so that at least takes some of the stress off of them. But yeah, I like to thank them. Throw a shout out to my teammates, Ty and Gilberto. We don't usually run as teammates in this league. Well, don't usually run in teammates as in other leagues, but in this league, it works out, and they're really good teammates, giving a lot of good information. But other than that, just want to thank the sponsors and the designers for our team.
Well, lots of shout outs for you, Noah. But once again, we'll drag you back up to the waiting room to celebrate your win here and get prepared for next week. But once again, congratulations on this win. Hopefully, we can talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
And now we're going to have Bryson Bird from second place. Bryson Bird, this is Andres with Christian up to the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Second place is not first, but after all what happened, I think you're gonna take it. But my question is, anything else, anything different that you can have done to pretty much catch and pretty much pass Noah Brown in the last few laps?
I don't think so. I really didn't have the speed all race. First time racing at Nashville, so it was a big learning curve. But I mean, yeah, I couldn't get to him. He did a really good job.
Um, so we have right here on the last incident. So talk to us what happened if you were able to go ahead and like if the car handled a little different before that, or pretty much was you were able to go ahead and like just um not getting into the 65.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't handle very good. I couldn't really do anything with it. Like I said, just first time at the track, I just didn't really know what I was doing.
I mean, first time getting a second place, not bad, not bad. Um, so, and thanks. Do you have any shout out to give?
Yeah, my two teammates, Enrique and Brett, they always help me out a ton.
Okay, thank you so much. Bryson, well, second place. Even though is not first for your first time out in Nashville, I will tell you congratulations. Take it as a way to even though if it wasn't first, um, you were there and nobody else can go ahead and get a second place on the first run. So yeah.
Yep, I'm pretty proud of it.
Thanks a
All
lot,
right.
Bryson. We
Thank
will
you for
talk
that.
to you soon. Have a good rest of the night.
All right, thank you.
That was Bryce Bird. We got Gilberto as well. That P3 finisher. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Hey, Gilberto, it's Christian and Andres up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys loud and clear.
Well, pretty solid race for you. Kind of a quiet race, and I feel like every time we talk to you up here, it's always kind of a quiet race for you. You know, you started back there in P6 and kind of sat back there in that top 5, top 10 area. And then obviously we saw a lot of carnage tonight. We saw the leaders kind of getting to each other down pit road, and obviously we saw that incident between the 95 getting into 24, and you were able to sneak your way through that big one there at the end there. But walk us through your race and walk us through how you got up here to this podium position.
Yeah, it was as you said, it was a pretty quiet night. At the start I just could not get down to the bottom line and I just kept losing position after position, which put me all the way back to about P15 and was able to kind of just work my way there. I decided, well, I'm back here, I might as well take it easy and save my tires. And that's pretty much the idea was. I think the idea was just to get a top 10, but once those cautions started falling, felt like I had a good chance at the top 5. Yeah, that wreck with on the restart with the 24, I thought when I saw him go down, I thought my race was over right then and there. I was kind of hitting the wrong way, but luckily I was able to sneak right by it. He made a little bit of contact on the right, but it didn't look like it caused any damage whatsoever. So I got pretty lucky with that. And at that point, I was like, all right, let's just go for the top 5 and just try to keep it as clean. And lucky enough to be able to get a podium here tonight.
Walk us through this car here. You know, I'm reading chat. Looks like Aaron Evans came into the live chat after the race saying the car was a handful to drive. Walk us through how difficult it was to navigate this track here.
Yeah, the car was really tight for the most part. Going into just at both ends, the car just felt like it had no front end grip and it just wanted to keep washing up the track. So you had to back up your entries a lot further than you are normally used to, at like mile and a halves, just to keep the car at the bottom. And it seemed like the bottom was just a better line. If you try to run the top, you would just kill your tires. Even like 2 laps full force, like the right front would just be absolutely shredded. And especially in turns 3 and 4 with that little bump in between, it kind of unsettles the car a little bit, makes it a little loose. But I prefer loose cars over tight cars, so I felt like that was my strongest end in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I struggled a little bit, but made it work. But I mean, I'm still a fan of this track, and I've always been a fan of this track, so it doesn't matter if it's loose or tight. I feel like I always do pretty well around here.
Really showed off that skill tonight. Obviously, coming home P3. Nothing for the 65 or the 53, but we're able to eke out that 45 going to the white flag there. So, once again, congratulations on this P3 finish. And is there anybody you want to shout out here for this podium spot here at Nashville?
Shout out to Daniel Gore, he actually invited me to run with his team for the rest of the season. So I've been able to talk to some of the guys on Redux and get a few pointers here and there, or share some data information on how to make each other stronger. Congratulations to Noah Brown on the win tonight. And yeah, I was battling Ty there for P3. He had a really solid run. Unfortunately, had a little bit of damage. But shout out to those guys. Shout out to you guys for always putting out a great broadcast, and shout out to Jake for always putting this league together. Shame that he couldn't make it tonight, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have been pretty stoked about the race that we had on today.
I definitely agree. I think he would have been really happy about the race that we had tonight. But once again, congratulations for this P3 finish. We'll drag you back up. Hopefully, we can talk to you next week, maybe up here in Victory Lane.
Here's to hoping. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Yep.
Just like that, we call a close to the end of this race as we'll get ready to look at your unofficial results here from Nashville. Obviously, we talked to Noah Brown, your race winner, who got to burn it down here at Nashville as he claims his first win here in the AWC Pro Series. Bryson Bird, P2, Gilberto, we just talked to him. I think that's his second podium of the season. Ty McIntosh barely gets past there at the end there for that P4 position. Landon A. Brown, P5. Enrique Cuculan, P6. Joe Farlow, P7. Aaron Evans, P8. David Huckleberry, P9. And Wyatt Thompson rounding out that top 10. He ran there in the 13th.
Yeah, sorry. I
No.
thought it was going to be you, but yeah.
It's
Well,
fine.
Ryan Runnebaum is going to be on P11, P12, James Johnson. Fidel Fabian on P13, Gabe Casola, P14. Brett Bennett running up your top 15, Alan Tall going into 16. Mika Walls, who was pretty much our pole sitter, pretty much gets a DNF on 17. P18 is going to be Cortland Sherman. Pole sitter pretty much Ethan and Ferrara. Sorry, I said that Mika Walls. No, Ethan and Ferrara was your pole sitter. P19. Very sad for Ferrara as well as Mika Walls. Those guys were pretty much our fastest cars in the race, and little mistake on communication pretty much ended both of them races.
You have the 57 of Brendan Reed back there, P20, and kind of got the field. Well, it says Jake was in the session, but unfortunately could not make the race tonight. I think just wanted to come in here to watch and everything else. But speaking of that, I have to give a huge shout out to Jake Scarborough for running the league here and everything else with all that said and done. But besides that, I think it's time to wrap it up here from Nashville Superspeedway. Once again, congratulations to Noah Brown on his first win of the season here for the AWC Pro Series here at Nashville Superspeedway. Once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator alongside Andreas Fares. Once again, thank you to Andreas for coming in here and stopping into the booth. But besides that, everybody, hope everybody has a great rest of the night. And we will see you guys next Thursday for the Prestige Cup Series. We'll have Peter back up into the... actually, it might be me solo up in the booth. But besides that, hope everybody has a great rest of the night. And we will see you guys soon.